It was a story that resonated in both the US and China. The disappearance of 26-year-old Chinese scholar Zhang Yingying from the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. In June 2017, after missing a bus, Zhang was last seen getting into this car. What began with friends and family searching for Zhang tragically turned into a story of abduction and murder. The events are detailed in a new documentary, Finding Yingying, directed by Jenny Shi.
At first, I followed the story not really as a filmmaker. It's more as like someone like Yingying, as a Chinese international student who care about Yingying.
Yingying and I went to the same university in China. Just like Yingying, I felt lost in this foreign country.
When Shi began the filming process, it was unclear how the story would develop. Early on, there was still hope that Yingying would be found. As the weeks went by, she gained a deeper trust from Yingying's family.
For the family themselves, they were hesitant at first, but later on, they just realized that, eventually the media attention would fade away. They just feel like, the footage we captured might be helpful. They just feel like, okay, let's just do it together. So that's how we started.
But that too came with emotional challenges.
So sometimes when Ying's mom, she broke down, I didn't really know, how to deal with the situation, and I didn't really know whether I should keep filming. So for me, that was like a challenge and debate I constantly had.
Jenny Shi began filming the documentary while she was still a student at Chicago's Northwestern University. She helped the Zhang family with translations while they were still busy searching for Yingying. But the process took an altogether more personal turn when she visited the family in China.
That was the first time I got to see a lot of Ying's personal belongings, and I got to see her diaries, her childhood photos. That was the first time really feel Ying as a person.
There's nobody to ask for directions. I always put my faith in people to help find the way. It turns out that's only true in China.
In the film, Shi voices sections of Yingying's diary. The decision to add her own voice to the narrative came in post-production.
At first, I didn't really want to be in the film, and I never planned to put myself into my own work, because that was what I learned at school. You are supposed to be a fly on the wall when you are doing documentary. More I learned about Ying herself, Ying's story, I really found a parallel between Ying and me.
The confessed killer, Brent Christensen, is serving a life sentence with no chance of parole. More than a year has passed since a jury decided against sentencing him to death. It's a decision Shi says the family still struggles to understand. But Shi also says that finding Yingying is more than just a true crime tragedy.
I hope, after people watching the film, they walk away with an image of who Yingying was and how much her life has touched others. But I think sometimes we really need to think about people left behind the tragedies. So maybe this film can, remind people to think about another kind of narrative of a crime story.
The murder of Zhang is a desperately dark and disturbing story. But Shi hopes that through this documentary, Yingying's memory can be kept alive. Dan Williams, CGTN, Chicago.